Yes, yes, Fisher. Yes.
Okay, so good evening, guys. Welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to start the installation part. Before that, I have a quick questions for you. So you people understand the previous session, right? Which is having the software introduction. How many softwares do we use? The virtual machine and Linux. Everyone knows that we are using Linux operating system. Everyone knows that, right? Everyone are aware of it.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone are aware
Yes.
of the virtual machine, difference between a virtual machine and a physical machine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Trishul.
A lot of
Yes,
people
Yes,
are
sir.
still on mute.
Yes, yes,
I'll
Fisher.
remove them.
Yes, yes.
I'll remove them if people are not talking. Okay.
Yes, Fisher.
Fine. So now what we'll do is we'll start the software installation. Okay, we'll start the software. Today we'll complete the Linux installation part. Linux operating system. How do we install Linux? And how many people understand the difference between a mount point and the drives in Windows? Difference between Linux and Windows. How many people understood? Did I explain that in the previous session? The difference between Linux
No,
and
No.
Linux. Okay.
No,
Fine.
sir.
So what I'll do?
We are not aware.
Sorry.
We are not aware about that situation.
Okay. So anyways, like now I'll be doing that. Okay. I'll be sharing my screen and I'll start sharing my screen and I'll start explaining you people about that. Okay. Okay. So everyone are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So today we are going to start the Linux installation part. Okay, this is my Windows machine. Okay, this is my Windows machine. Okay, in this Windows machine, in this Windows machine, I have 1 terabyte, which means 1000 GB of hard disk. I have divided the 1000 GB of hard disk into three partitions. Okay, which is C drive, D drive, E drive. So these are nothing but partitions. You people able to understand, right? I have partitioned my 1000 GB into three partitions. Okay, 200 GB for C drive, 400 GB for D drive, and again like some 500 GB or something like that for E drive. So which comes to 1 terabyte, which is 1000 GB. So this is how we call it as drives in Windows. In Windows we call it as drives. But in Linux, this is a Windows operating system, right? So but in Linux we call it as mount points. We call them as mount points. We'll give the partition. We'll do the partition in Linux. And did I explain you which mount point we use for what purpose?
No, sir. No. No, Trishul.
Okay, so let me explain you that as well. Okay, so just like C drive, D drive, E drive, just like C drive, D drive, E drive, we have in Windows. Okay, which is of how much is the space? It is 1000 GB. 1000 GB I have divided into C drive, D drive, E drive. So what we do for Linux, we take 100 GB. We take 100 GB and we divide them into different mount points. In Windows we call it as drives. Okay, in Linux we call it as mount points. We'll give how much storage for the Linux operating system? We'll give 100 GB. In 100 GB, we will divide the mount points. We'll partition the mount points. Okay, the first mount point is slash. Slash is the first mount point. We'll give 10 GB. Okay, next mount point is slash stage. We'll give some 25 GB. Okay, next is slash U01. We'll give some 25 GB. Okay, 25 GB. And then we'll use slash prod. No, or sorry, swap. Instead of this, we'll use swap. It is not a mount point, but we have to give 5 GB. Okay, and the last mount point is slash prod. Okay, for this we'll use remaining space. What is the remaining space that we have?
35 GB.
Yeah, remaining space, whatever it could be. Out of 100, we use 25, 50, 60, 65.
35 GB.
So remaining will be 35 GB. So remaining space, whatever the remaining space is there. So now I'll explain you the difference between Windows and Linux things. In Windows, we call it as a drive. This is C drive, D drive, E drive, like that. In Linux, we call it as mount point, slash stage, slash U01, slash prod, like that. We call it as mount points. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of each and every mount point? I'll explain you. What is the purpose? Why we are naming it as slash stage? Just like C drive, D drive, E drive, we have named this, right? We can rename the drives. How many people know that we can actually rename the drive? We can rename it as stage. We can rename it like this. Like this also we can do it. We can do it. C drive, D drive, and E drive. Like this, we have different mount points in Linux, right? So what is the purpose? I'll explain you now. What is the purpose? I'll explain you. Now, coming with slash stage. Why we are using this slash stage mount point? Slash stage is to store the softwares. Everyone repeat. Why we are using slash stage? To store the software. Now let me explain. Giving the difference between Windows and Linux, so that you people will understand very easily. Okay, to store the softwares, I am giving one mount point, partition and a mount point with the name slash stage. Now, what is the software? Store the software means, for example, in Linux, in Windows, you want to install a software. How do you install a software? Can anyone explain me? How do you install a software? For example, there is something called VLC player. Okay, VLC player only. You people want to install VLC player. Can you please, anyone tell me from the beginning how to start the VLC player installation? Who will tell me?
We have to download from the Google.
Yes, download from
Otherwise,
the Google.
We have to copy. Yeah, download from the Google, and we have to run it.
Download from the Google. Download from the Google and keep the software where?
In local
in the feed in downloads. In the downloads.
In the downloads.
Downloads will be in C drive.
Okay, you have to keep the software only in downloads. Can't I keep it in D drive?
We can put that.
We can, right? We can.
Yes.
So I am storing all my softwares in D drive. For example, I am storing all the softwares in D drive. So just like D drive, this is slash stage in Linux. Just like D drive to store the softwares. Okay. Now the software is stored. Software is stored in D drive. Now what you will do? You will double click the software. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Double click the.
We will run the software.
You will run the software. Now, why you are running the software?
To install that software.
Yes. Where it will be installed?
It will be installed in the system, in the PC.
No, in the PC only. Where it will be installed? C, D, E.
In local disk.
C.
Yeah, exactly. C. In C
drive, yeah.
It will be installed. Okay. It will be installed. Okay. In C drive. Will the installation happen in C drive by default, or should I give the location?
No, by default.
By default, the installations will happen in C drive. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just like that, U01 is the one of the mount point to install the softwares.
Okay, but how can we know that? Like we have renamed that U01, right? But how we will know that U01 is the mount point for the install? I'll
show you. To install the softwares. So when you install any software, by default the installation will pick C drive to install. Yes.
Yes.
That's the reason. That is the same case here also. In stage we will keep the software, and you start the installation of the software. By default it will pick U01.
Okay.
You understand my point?
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
I'll show you at the time of installation. Okay. Next, swap is something for memory purpose. Leave it. Okay. Now after the installation of software in C drive, what you will do? The VLC player is installed. Now what you will do?
We will open that. We will open that. Otherwise, we will open a file, which like a video file or something like.
Video file. Video file means data. Video file is nothing but data.
Yeah, yes? Data. Yes.
Okay, data will be there in C drive, or data will be there in some other drive.
some other drive, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's take it as a E drive.
Media.
E drive is for data. E drive is to store the data, means videos, all the videos. If I double click on the video, it will use the software in C drive and start playing the video which is there in E drive. Understand what I'm talking?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Got
Everyone understood what I'm
Yes,
talking?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So prod is something like that to store databases, to store databases. Will create to create or store the database. We'll use /prod. So we need a database, right? We need a database. So to store or to create database, we'll use /prod. Now understand, everyone? Easily understand? Did you people?
Yes,
Is it easy to understand or not?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone understood? Just like difference between Windows and Linux. Okay,
Yeah.
we call it just aim level. We call it as drives in Windows. Ikkada mount points antamante. Simple. And purpose okate. /stage software store చేసుకోవడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తాం. /u01 డిఫాల్ట్ గా నువ్వు ఈ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ని డబుల్ క్లిక్ చేసి డిఫాల్ట్ గా ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే డిఫాల్ట్ గా u01 తీసేసుకుంటుంది అది. జస్ట్ లైక్ డిఫాల్ట్ గా సి డ్రైవ్ లో ఎలా ఇన్స్టాల్ అవుతాయో అట్లా డిఫాల్ట్ గా ఇట్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ ఇన్ u01. అండ్ నీకు ఇప్పుడు విఎల్సి ప్లేయర్ ఉంది కానీ డేటా ఉంటేనే కదా నువ్వు విఎల్సి ప్లేయర్, డేటా అంటే వీడియో ఉంటేనే కదా విఎల్సి ప్లేయర్ లో ప్లే అయ్యేది. వీడియో లేకపోతే విఎల్సి ప్లేయర్ వేసుకుని ఏం ఉపయోగం? సో నువ్వు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసావు కానీ నీ దగ్గర వీడియోస్ ఉండాలి. ఆ వీడియోస్ అంటే డేటాబేస్, డేటా దే షుడ్ బి సమ్ డేటా. సో ఇన్ /prod we'll create or we'll store the databases. Understand, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Got it.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everyone understood, right? So, so this is how we start the Linux installation. Now we start the Linux installation right now with all this mount points. So we will create, we'll give 100 GB to the server. We'll give 100 GB to the Linux server and we'll do the partition of this 100 GB like this. Okay. Now let's start the Linux installation. Any questions?
Nothing as of now.
Okay, fine. So yeah, let's start the Linux installation. So where do we install Linux? In Vmware. Everyone understand the difference between a Vmware and a physical machine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, VMware is a
Yes,
virtual.
yes.
Yeah, virtual.
Yeah. So VMware, this is VMware
Physical
software.
system.
This is already installed on my laptop. It mean my laptop lo you people can install. It's very simple. VMware software like elli just double click just install cheyadame. Where is the softwares? So VMware software ఉంది కదా, VMware software ని just right click కొట్టి run as administrator కొట్టి మీరు just installation start చేయండి. At the end it will ask serial keys. ఏదో ఒక సీరియల్ కీ ఇచ్చేయండి. ఏదో ఒక సీరియల్ కీ ఇచ్చేస్తే VMware installation complete అయిపోతుంది.
ఈ VMware సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇచ్చేది ఆల్రెడీ మీరు?
ఇవ్వలేదు ఈరోజు అందరికి ఇస్తే యాక్సెస్, టెన్షన్ తీసుకోకండి.
ఓకే, లేదు ఇచ్చేది మన అంతే.
ఎవరికి ఇవ్వలేదు. I'll give you people access to softwares today. Okay.
Okay.
So first VMware install చేయాలి మనం. First we have to install VMware because our each and every work that we will do will be on VMware only.
Yeah, virtual only.
వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ లోనే చేస్తాం మనం. సో ఫస్ట్ VMware ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోండి. VMware ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత now we will do the Linux installation. This is the Linux software. Okay. So how to install Linux? Very simple. You can create new virtual machine. Click on create new virtual machine or go to file, new virtual machine, or do control N. ఏది చేసినా ఒకటే. క్రియేట్ న్యూ వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ కొట్టినా ఇదే స్క్రీన్ వస్తుంది. ఫైల్ కి వెళ్ళి న్యూ వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ కొట్టినా ఇదే స్క్రీన్ వస్తుంది. కంట్రోల్ N కొట్టినా ఇదే స్క్రీన్ వస్తుంది. అర్థమైందా? So new virtual machine, we are creating a new server, Linux server. Now we are installing a Linux operating system server. Okay. So we are now go with typical recommended. Next. Okay. Now it is asking you people how do you want to install the operating system? నువ్వు డిస్క్ పెడతావా లేకపోతే నీకు ఏమైనా ఇమేజ్ ఉందా? వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ డిస్క్ అండ్ ఇమేజ్? సింపుల్. హౌ మెనీ పీపుల్ ఇన్స్టాల్డ్ విండోస్ ఆన్ యువర్ ల్యాప్టాప్? ఎంతమంది విండోస్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశారు? హౌ మెనీ పీపుల్ హ్యావ్ ద ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్టాలింగ్ ద విండోస్ ఆన్ యువర్ కంప్యూటర్?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we have. Like we will install with the CD.
So generally, if we have to install in previous days, not now, in previous days or previous generation, Windows CD ఒకటి వచ్చేది. Windows CD అందరికి తెలుసా? Windows CD, everyone knows that Windows CD.
Yes, Rishu.
Windows operating
Yes,
system
yes.
CD ఒకటి వచ్చేది.
Yes, for Windows 7 like that, I think.
So what we used to do is we used to keep the CD in CD drive, CD-ROM, and we used to install Windows like that. But generation changed now. What is the latest thing is that CD can be converted into image file. Image. Chudu, idoka disk can be converted into image file, and you can use the image to install the operating system. Even Windows or Linux, anything. No CD పెట్టాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Image file ఉన్నా కానీ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయొచ్చు. The CD can be converted into the image file, and we can use the image file to install the operating system. Understand what I'm talking?
Yes, Rishu.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Rishu.
that is what it is asking. నీ దగ్గర ఏంటి Linux operating system ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నావు కదా? You want to install the Linux operating system. నువ్వు డిస్క్ పెడతావా? ఇమేజ్ ఫైల్ ఉందని అడుగుతుంది. I have the image file with me. If I browse, I'll get the image file. Just select that and click next. Now it is asking, where do you want to install the Linux, and what is the name that you want to give to the Linux machine? నీ ల్యాప్టాప్ కి ఏదో ఒక పేరు ఇస్తావు కదా, నీ పేరు సంథింగ్ లైక్ మీ పేర్లు whatever, అఖిల, ప్రీతి, దీప్తి, whatever, మీకు మీ ల్యాప్టాప్స్ కి నేమ్స్ ఇస్తారు కదా, అట్లానే నీ లైనక్స్ సర్వర్ కి ఒక నేమ్ ఇవ్వు అంటుంది. అది Linux operating system కి ఒక నేమ్ ఇవ్వు అంటుంది. Okay, so what we do is generally we go with the professional way, like data center names, location or data center names like that. So I'll give Hyderabad data center. I'll give the name of the server as Hyderabad data center. Okay, next, ekkada, where do you want to keep this operating system, or where do you want to install? Okay, location. So use that 100 GB space ekkada undo chusko. 100 GB ikkada khali undi. 100 GB is free in E drive. So go to E drive, open new folder, okay, and give HYD DC, okay, Hyderabad DC, fine, ELO Hyderabad DC. You can browse or you can directly give like this, ELO Hyderabad DC. Okay, ELO is this Hyderabad DC. Okay, just click OK. ELO Hyderabad DC, right? Hyderabad DC, fine. Just click next. Now what is the size that I'm giving for Linux operating system? 100 GB. Okay, next, store to single file. Okay, store to single file. Just click next. Customize hardware. Why I'm customizing hardware? ఈ సర్వర్ కి ఎంత ర్యామ్ ఇవ్వచ్చు, హౌ మచ్ ర్యామ్ ఐ కెన్ గివ్. మీ కంప్యూటర్ కి ర్యామ్ ఎంత ఉందో ఎట్లా చెక్ చేయాలి? మై కంప్యూటర్ కి వెళ్ళి రైట్ క్లిక్ కొట్టి యూ హావ్ టు గో టు ద ప్రాపర్టీస్ అండ్ చెక్ హౌ మచ్ ర్యామ్ యూ హ్యావ్. ఐ హ్యావ్ 8 GB ర్యామ్. సో అవుట్ ఆఫ్ 8 GB ఐల్ గివ్ సమ్ 4 GB సో దట్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ వెరీ ఫాస్ట్. ఇన్స్టలేషన్ చాలా ఫాస్ట్ గా అయిపోతుంది. సో ఐ కెన్ గివ్ 4 GB టు ద సర్వర్ అండ్ క్లోజ్ ఇట్. నౌ స్టార్ట్ ది ఇన్స్టలేషన్. ఇఫ్ యూ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ఫినిష్, ఇట్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ ది ఇన్స్టలేషన్. Okay, this is enterprise Linux. If you want to go inside the VMware, just take your mouse cursor, go inside and click enter. That's it. If you want to come outside from VMware, your mouse cursor will not come. You have to press Control Alt. Okay, now it came out. The mouse cursor came out. Now I will tell you one thing. Everyone look at my mouse cursor and see here. See here. Everyone are able to see here?
Yes,
Cursor. So it says to direct to VMware, click Control G. అవసరం లేదు Control G, బట్ నేను లోపలికి వెళ్తాను. లోపలికి వెళ్ళి మౌస్ కర్సర్ లోపల పెట్టినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఒకసారి చూడండి. when I keep my mouse cursor inside, just see the message here. ఇక్కడ మెసేజ్ ఏమొస్తుందో ఒకసారి చూడండి. See now my mouse cursor. Now anyone read the message?
Return to
To
your
return from your computer, press
Press
Control
Control
plus Alt.
Control Alt to return to your computer. First is tab go to skip చేయండి. Tab go to skip కొట్టండి. Okay, now to return to your computer, Control Alt. So Control Alt కొడితే మౌస్ కర్సర్ బయటికి వచ్చేస్తుంది. విండోస్ లోకి వచ్చేస్తుంది మౌస్ కర్సర్. VMware లోపలికి వెళ్ళిపోవాలంటే జస్ట్ మౌస్ కర్సర్ తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయి లోపల పెట్టేయాలి. మళ్ళీ బయటికి రావాలంటే కంట్రోల్ ఆల్ట్ కొడితే బయటికి వచ్చేస్తుంది. అర్థమైందా ఎవ్రీవన్?
Yes, Rishi.
Okay. Now this is Enterprise Linux. Now we'll start the Linux installation. Just click next. Just English. Just click next. US English. Just click next. Okay. Now it is asking automatic partition chestava, manual partition chestava. Do you want to automatical partition? Manual. I will go with manual partition. Manual partition because I know how to do a partition. Okay. Let's erase all the data. Yes. So give one by one. First slash. How much I told? 10 GB, which means 10,000 MB. You have to give 10,000 MB, which means 10 GB. Okay. Next is slash stage. Why we are using slash stage and how much we have to give to slash stage? 25,000, which means 25 GB. Why we are using slash stage? Who will answer?
Store the storage.
To store the data.
To store the software, not the data. To store the
Software. Yeah,
software.
software.
Okay. Next slash U01. Slash U01. Everyone will commit a mistake here.
Install the software.
Yeah, everyone will commit a lot of mistakes here. The mistake that a lot of people will do is instead of U01, they'll give U01 and they'll complain telling that, hey, I'm not able to see U01. Please do not use U01. Please do not use U01. Use U01. U01. It is U01 slash U01. And the size should be 25,000. And why we are using slash U01? To
install the software.
install the software. Yes. Next is swap. Swap is not a mount point. See, if you see mount point, it is mount point is not applicable. Swap is not a mount point, but it's a file system. You have to give 5,000, which is 5 GB. This is for memory purpose, which I'll explain you later. Okay. And the last mount point is slash prod. What I told you for slash prod, how much is the size that I have to give?
10
35 GB.
No. Remaining space. How much is the remaining space?
Remaining 35 GB. Yeah, 35 GB.
No. See here, how much is the remaining space? See the mouse cursor.
37,401 MB.
Which means 37 GB.
It's 37 GB. Yeah,
So give the entire remaining space. How to check? Now instead of giving the size, you can use this option. Fix the maximum size. How much is the maximum size available? Use all the maximum size. Just click OK. See now it went everything. Okay. Now just see plus prod 37 GB, swap 5 GB, stage 25,000 25 GB, U01 25,000 25 GB, and slash is 10 GB. Just click next. Click next. Now give the IP address to the server. How do you give the IP address to the server? You know how many people know what is IP address? For your laptop also there will be IP address. Do you people know that? Do you people know that?
Yes.
For your laptop
with
also
IP
there
address
will be
only
IP
they can
address.
track.
How to check what is the IP address of your laptop? IP config. Okay. This is my IP address of my server 192.168.29.110. This is my IP address of my Windows laptop. The same way Linux also will have the IP address. So we need to edit, uncheck the option and give the IP address of the server. Give some anything which starts with 192.168.1. Give some 333 like that. Anything you can give. Okay. Netmask should be 255 255.0. Okay, and just click OK. Okay, it says one second, what does it say? An error converting the value of IP address. IP address must contain okay 192.168.1. One second, let me edit this. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so we give this IP address 192.168.1.133 and the netmask can be anything. Okay, just click on OK and change the server name to Hyderabad DC, HYD DC, and just click on next. Just click on continue and no firewall and disable the Linux and just click next, proceed. Okay, just click next. Take the mouse cursor to India. India and keep it here. It should select Asia Kolkata. It should be Asia Kolkata. So which is nothing but the time zone. మన విండోస్ లో టైం జోన్ ఉంది కదా, ఇట్లా పెట్టగానే ఇండియా టైం జోన్ వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ యుఎస్ టైం జోన్. యుఎస్ లో 7:30 AM, ఇక్కడ ఇండియాలో 5 PM అయింది. ఓకే, సో విచ్ టైమ్ జోన్ యూ వాంట్? I want the Indian time zone, India, Asia, Kolkata. Just click on next. Root password. Root password is nothing but ఇప్పుడు మీ ల్యాప్టాప్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్, ఇప్పుడు విండోస్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్ చేసినప్పుడు మీ ల్యాప్టాప్కి ఏమైనా పాస్వర్డ్ పెట్టాలని అడుగుతారు. అట్లనే ద సేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్, రూట్ పాస్వర్డ్. రూట్ పాస్వర్డ్ షుడ్ బి వెల్కమ్. రూట్ పాస్వర్డ్ షుడ్ బి వెల్కమ్. షుడ్ బి కాదు, కెన్ బి ఎనీథింగ్, బట్ ఐఎమ్ కీపింగ్ వెల్కమ్. వెల్కమ్ యాజ్ అ రూట్ పాస్వర్డ్. వై అంటే అది స్టాండర్డ్ అయిపోయింది మనకి. ఫ్రమ్ ఫస్ట్ బ్యాచ్ నుంచి ఇప్పటిదాకా అది ఒక స్టాండర్డ్ అయిపోయింది. సో యూజ్ ద సేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్. Root password welcome, welcome. Confirm the password welcome. Okay, make sure everything is in lower case, no upper case, no caps lock. ఎందుకంటే మీరు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయిపోయి క్యాప్స్ లాక్ పెడితే మీరు లాగిన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు యూ కెనాట్ లాగిన్. ఓకే, సో కీప్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ద లోవర్ కేస్ ఓన్లీ. జస్ట్ క్లిక్ నెక్స్ట్. ఓకే, ఇట్ విల్ బి రీడింగ్ ద ప్యాకేజ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, అండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ రీడింగ్ ద ప్యాకేజ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, what you need to do, customize the software, customize the packages. Okay, and scroll down and click everything, all packages. You install all the packages. Okay, just click next. Now just click on next. It starts the installation. Simple. See, now it is formatting /prod. It is formatting the file system, the mount points, /prod, /stage, /u01, /swap, everything it is for formatting. Okay, and now it will install the Linux on this VMware. Hyderabad DC అనే Linux server ని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తుంది. It will install the Linux server and it will take 20 to 25 minutes to install the Linux. This is what Linux installation is. Everyone will complete Linux installation today. I'll give the softwares.
Yes, sir.
Everyone.
Yes.
Okay, let me check.
Yes,
Let me check how many people are talking. People who are not talking, I'll remove them. Okay, how many people are ready? I'll give the software access to everyone. Will you people install the Linux software today?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Linux operating
Yes.
system?
We completed.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, fine then. So that's it for the day, guys. We'll meet in tomorrow's session, morning 11 o'clock sharp. And I'll see how many people will complete the Linux installation today. I'll give you software access. I have all your email IDs. I'll collect the email IDs and keep it in place, and I'll start giving you the Linux, VMware, Oracle software and everything. All the software access I'll give you today. So what you people have to do is, just give me a minute. I'll show you.
Yes, Sishan.
Okay, so this is where the software is. So in this software, if you go into the software, you have Enterprise R4. This is Linux software. Just download it. Right click, download. Okay, and this is the VMware Workstation Full 11th version. Just right click, download. These are the serial keys of VMware. This is PuTTY, this is VNC, this is WinSCP. So what you have to do, you have to download one by one. Don't download all in one. Download one by one. Okay, download one by one. Softwares. First VMware software, install the VMware. Enter the serial keys. Next Linux software, install the Linux. If you have any doubts, whom you have to contact? I'll give you the mentors. You can contact the mentors. This is where the software is. Other than that, you people understood. See, it says remaining time is 40 minutes to install the Linux. So within next 40 minutes, my Linux installation will be completed. Understand what I'm talking, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So please complete the Linux installation. I'll
Yes,
give you the
sir.
software access within next 1 hour. I'll give you the software access. Please complete the Linux installation and come back tomorrow morning 11 o'clock sharp. All right, guys?
Okay, Sishan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks,
sir.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you so much for joining
Thank
this lecture.
Recording kitchen.